Okay, yesterday I didn't even come on and say anything. It was the weirdest day yesterday. You know, the day before yesterday, I was talking about time felt really weird. I kept feeling like something was off, like nothing felt right. And, um, and I was watching this show, Mayor of something, a crime. I love crime shows. I love mysteries. I like things that make you have to think. But then sometimes you have to have, you know, humor just to break up the depression. But then sometimes the humor gets so stupid. It's like, I gotta have something to, but I'm using my brain again. I think my bun's gonna keep going. I'm completely go sideways. So my bun could end up way over here. And I just put all my oils on my face, so it's not greasy. I just washed it. It's just freshly oiled. Anyways, so I was, oh, and one thing too is the reason I talk about myself, is so you can kind of get to know like who I am. I don't want to pretend like I'm somebody I'm not. And the reason I share personal stuff and personal stories is because I think that there's something that people can get out of them for their own. I think that we all have like a web that connects us, and we all go through similar things, and it gives us new perspectives sometimes when we hear how somebody else handles something. And if you think you have new ideas for me, please share them. Share them so, in the comments so that more people can read about, what you think, because that's what we need to do is build these kind of communities where we are all helping each other to heal and grow, and anyways, so back to the thing. So I started watching that show. I can't remember. I want to say Mayor of Winningham because there's an actress named Mayor of Winningham, I think. But it was Mayor of something else. But anyways, it was a good crime show, but it was depressing. And right after that, I watched another one called Cruel Summer, and it was also super, super depressing. And both of those, and something right, it was I watched three things in a row, and all of them had like this small town kind of secrets and drama and the things that people do to hide their secrets. It just really kind of showed just like a disgusting side to people. You know what I mean? And people being mean and horrible to each other, and people who will do whatever to cover their own selves. So there was stuff in it that was like, ugh. And it kind of made me feel down, I'd say. But when I got up yesterday, why is yesterday the first day that I think it was yesterday. I'm telling you, time is so messed up right now. I cannot even wrap my head around. I think it was yesterday, and I got up, and it might have been the day before, but my kitchen was covered with ants. I was like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is all these ants? And, I'm spraying peppermint spray. If you use essential oils and water with peppermint, and you put it around your doors and windows and stuff, it keeps the spiders from coming in. I was like, fuck, I don't have any bug spray. I just started spraying the peppermint spray. And I think it probably felt oily to them and heavy when it started drying, because where I sprayed that, they quit coming, but they're just keep coming all over the place. And I was saying something to my mom, and she said the same thing happened to her. I said something to my other friend, the farmer one, and she said that it is going on all over, that they're coming up. And I was like, oh, well, must be doing something with the inner earth or something. They're doing something with the vibration or something that's driving, because I haven't had ants in my house. And then, it's just insane. There could be something that died and crawled under my house. I live in the woods, and it drew a bunch of insects, but it's weird, especially when there's so many people experiencing the same thing. But anyways, that gets me also back to the show, because I think they're using I know they're using stuff that's way beyond our imagination. And it does have to do with frequency and stuff. And so that will make the animals act weird. And so when I was watching those shows, right, and they were a downer, but they, I got oh my God, I felt just like super distraught. I felt like super, just like I couldn't get myself out of it. And I kept thinking like, man, I talk about this, turn on the music, dance, do this. And it was like, I couldn't get, it was just the most heaviest feeling inside of me. And I couldn't shake it. I couldn't quit crying. I felt just distraught. I couldn't get suicidal thoughts out of my head. I just kept being, man, I'd rather be dead than experiencing this. I just kept going over and over and over and over in my head. And I was, but I have an awareness, like, this is not me. This isn't me. This is coming from outside of me. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure, and I should have immediately done clearing ceremonies, but I just kept thinking I need to somehow lift my spirits. I've watched these shows. They've done something. They've got me down somehow. I've got to be more aware of these depressing shows or something, right? And then something happened and a frequency happened. And I was thinking those shows they do those frequencies. And these are new shows, right? And there's a lot of frequencies in new shows too. It's just part of the music to, spook you like a jump scare. It's not. That's not what it's for. It's absolutely to control our emotions. And it would not surprise me. This is how crazy I am, people. It would not surprise me if they use these frequencies. Like if you saw 13 Ghosts, that movie where they use the frequencies to draw the ghosts in. And so frequencies that would pull in certain energy, like you could think of it in 3-dimensional ghosts, demons, and stuff like that. And I go back and forth like how I say it because I see it as energy, but I know other people don't understand it the same way I do, so I'll bounce back and forth because sometimes we need a label or a picture or something in our mind to understand it, right? So if these frequencies call in these heavy energies, right? I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. And because, it was so much. And it didn't just feel like it just, was definitely not just a temporary thing, like a jump scare last, second? No, this was all day yesterday. I even tried to record, and I'm sitting here talking, and I go to stop it, and I had never started it. I was like, okay, I am not meant to do this today. I'm just meant to get myself out of this funk and try and understand what's going on, and I'll keep asking my guys, what is going on? What am I not seeing? What am I not understanding? And later in the evening, I got that in my head about, you talk about this stuff. And I said, I need to go in and give some more clarity because somebody could hear that and think worse of themselves. Like, why can't I pull myself out of this? Why can't I just get up and dance around and feel better? And it's not that easy. I can give you things to, like work towards, but that doesn't mean like you're going to get up and dance and you're just going to feel better. Sorry if I squint a lot. I know that it's because I can't see. It's hard because I can't see. I'm going blind until we get the med beds. I've got hope. Okay, so anyways, so okay, I'll just go in anywhere. I won't go back where I left off. It'll catch itself up. So if the frequencies are, drawing certain energies towards us, like there's a lot of on YouTube, because I'll do this a lot in the evening or when I want to meditate or something. A lot of times I'll do it before I go to bed because it calms your mind and spirit when you put on those. There's a bunch of channels for meditation and higher hertz music and stuff like that. And, if you want to understand more about, like, we're mostly water, and just go in and look at the frequency studies with water, what happens. There's a bunch of them out there. So you can go and look at it and you can figure, I'm not going to force my thoughts on you. But I like to listen to it because it does calm your spirit, like whatever you're feeling. So you can turn on that Hertz music. I especially like to turn on some that have like the water waves. I'm really drawn to water. And so I like the water waves. And sometimes I'll just listen to those and I'll, do each of them back and forth sometimes. And I can only do them for a little while. It's very, very all-consuming for my ears. When I turn it off, and I can have it on the lowest sound, but when I turn it off, it's kind of like, oh, like you need that silence too. And but I know that the frequencies are being used to control this. I know frequency, there's frequency weapons, and you know, the stuff with frequency is very, very important. And a soul resonates at a frequency, and so if you're at a low frequency, you know, doesn't take much. And not to say like I was at a low frequency, it doesn't take much, but I'm saying that they're messing with the frequencies, and I don't know how high they are, but there's a lot of more stuff going on. But if they do draw the spirits into us that are more negative, that's eerie, because that's sometimes I won't even watch some shows that do like witch stuff and spells and stuff anymore. Like I like supernatural stuff, but I don't like to watch witch stuff, because I know that they're really doing real spells on some of these shows, and they really are making you a part of it. So you really, that energy can come in and attach and be in your house. That's why I don't like to watch movies where people are just getting murdered and fear and stuff like that. That energy can come through and come into your house. So if you're constantly watching, you know, brutal shit, that energy is pulled into your house. Believe you me. You want to see it as a spirit or a demon or whatever, you know, you can see it however you want. Just like in the other show where I was talking about where this demon sitting there talking to him, and they were showing it actually sitting there. But I know that they're always sitting there talking to you. They just aren't showing themselves. So if you don't have any awareness, and you think it's coming from in here. But, and, you know, it's not, I don't see it as demons and angels. I just see it as energy and resonance. So, you know, but you have some low frequency energy that wants to draw you down. So, you know, they can build themselves up if they're feeding off of you. So a negative energy can grow itself by turning you into a negative energy, if you get my drift. So the, and so this morning when I was in there, I was still like, you know, I knew I was going to come out and talk, but then anyways, so this was something that I feel that they wanted me to put out there as well with this, is that, so if you do feel like, you know, super down, and you know, like, oh, this lady's crazy, you can't just turn on music and dance around and feel better. This is what we all have to kind of realize, is that they aren't just always sitting there talking to you. You can be completely attacked, where, you know, it's the idea of a, what's that called again? You said it, about the exorcism thing, when the person is, it can feel like that, like when you are, whatever that is. I can't think of the word all of a sudden, but, possessed. When a person is possessed, so they can make it like, oh, you know, well, they've kind of showed it in movies as like, okay, so this demon, and it has to say its name, but sometimes this demon can have a bunch of different demons attached to it, so you can have like 9, 10 demons on you. So in that idea, so if you go with that idea and leave the demon idea, if you have to look at it like that, then look at it like that. But so if you have all that energy attached to you like a magnet, it's holding on to you, and you've drawn it to you. It can't find you if you don't draw it to you. That's how manifestation works too. You know, like, that's a whole nother thing, but it's the same idea, right? And so you draw this stuff to you by, you know, it can be a lot of different ways. So many different ways. I mean, it would be ridiculous for me to even try and start going through it. So if you get all of these attachments on you, it will feel like a possession. Not like it's taking over your head and you're going to start, you know, puking avocados and shit like that. It is that it will feel heavy. It will feel like you cannot control these thoughts in your head, that there's somebody else is like blocking you or something. And that's how it felt yesterday. And I think it was because this kind of needs to be understood by people. you know, I mean, when I'm saying about the depression, like I've had a lot of depression. I mean, it runs in my family. My grandma died of depression. She suffered clinical depression. She didn't die of like killing herself depression. She just died for no reason because she was depressed. Just willed herself to die. And so you know, it's depression is very real. I'm not at all saying like it's not and you can dance your way out of it. And I'm saying though, when I'm talking about that, I'm saying like if you're just feeling super down and you know, you can't get out of bed for weeks and stuff like that, it will keep going that way. Like you have to force yourself. And it is kind of like a purge, you know, at that point it's kind of like you doing your own exorcism really. But you know, when it's that heavy of energy, then I think, you know, it's to realize that you have a lot of stuff that is attached to you. And, you know, it's also will be telling you a lot of really negative stuff about yourself and to keep you low and to keep you down. And, you know, that's where, you know, professionals do come in. You can do it for yourself. You can get a friend to do it. It has nothing to do with who does it. It has to do with what you believe. So if you believe it's going to work, if you believe you've got the power to push these energies off and to keep them away from you, then you do. If you don't and you feel like they're going to win, then they will. And, you know, you can call in every priest and whoever, but as long as you give them that power, they'll feed off of it. So there's some more stuff I want to keep going about this, but it's getting longer because the other stuff I'm going to talk about is kind of linked to it. So I'm just going to stop real quick and then start right back. So